Good morning. Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM, WEEB. Welcome back to the most listened to program in all of the Sands Hills. It is time once again for Mornings with the Leader Man. I am Steve Leader Adams, and don't forget, of course, this program being heard and seen around the world on our live video stream. That's available to you right now at talk973.com. Upper middle of the page is where the link is located that will get you where you're going. If you're on your mobile device, YouTube will do the work for you. Just put Mornings with the Leader Man in there. Leader Man, all one word, spelled like it sounds. If you're on your mobile device, you say, hey, I don't need all that video. I'm driving, just want audio. Well, you can get that too. Use platforms like TuneIn, iTunes, Stream, many others will do it too. You just put WEEB into that search and we'll be at the top of the results. And if you're on our website at talk973.com, every page has an icon in the upper right-hand corner of it that says Listen Live. Tap that once and you're listening just that quick. All right, weather for us today here in the Sand Hills area. Well, this is going to be an interesting day as we transition back to more seasonable temperatures for us. Looks like this is going to be a snowless winter for this area. We shall see. But look for partly cloudy today. We'll get to a high of 72 in the early to mid-afternoons, and then the temperatures start to plummet pretty quick as we'll head down for a low of 32 degrees overnight. Remember, last night, 61 degrees. Okay, 32 degrees, just about cut in half. Then for Saturday, more seasonable temperatures. Partly cloudy, you'll see the sun. But the high pressure has broken down and the cool air gets back in. And look for a high of 48 degrees. Saturday night, cool. Let's make it cold. Partly cloudy, 26. That's cold to me. Sunday, partly cloudy. A little bit of a chance of an isolated shower popping up. High of 49, so that would be a wet rain. Monday, definitely going to be wet. Mostly cloudy, rain likely. High of 55. Monday night, more of the same, a low of 43. Tuesday, another wet day. High of 61, but the rain starts to taper off Tuesday afternoon into Tuesday night. We've got mostly cloudy Tuesday night with rain early, giving way to partly cloudy skies by daybreak, a low of 44. Wednesday, partly cloudy. Isolated shower, high of 61, and then Thursday, high of 58 under partly cloudy skies. Right now, around the Sand Hills, winds are southwest at 14, visibility 10 statute miles, humidity almost maxed at 90%, dew point 58, pressure is 30.06, and it's partly cloudy, 61 degrees currently here at Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM, WEEB. Now, you got to admit, yesterday, when he got a, 82, 84 in some places, it didn't feel right, did it? I mean, plus it was kind of muggy, too, and you started to say, this is the middle of winter. Where is my winter? You know, nobody likes a severe winter, but, you know, we go through enough of this heat during the summer and spring and fall. It's just not funny anymore. And it's nice, you know, you waited all summer to get to the cooler weather, which didn't get here until November this year, or this past year. And finally gets here, and then what we get? November, December, January, 3 months. And we're back into the heat. Wow. All the Yankees that come down here for winter, to get a mild winter, they're about ready to head back up north so they can get some cold air. All right, it is 7:34 past the hour. I came in this morning all in a good mood, sit down and start, you know, getting ready to do some things that I have to do before the show. And the mouse was not working. I mean, you have got to be kidding me. because I can't move that cursor without it. I got one of those wireless mouse. So I kind of knew where the problem was. It was in the wireless part of it. So changed the batteries out. Said, well, maybe the batteries are weak, and this is why it's not responding. Put batteries in, still a no-go. Check the on-off switch, still a no-go. About then, I was just really super happy, if you know what I mean. And I said, okay, Steve, what you going to do now? So I got to go rob parts and get a mouse. So I went to the geek's computer and stole his hardwired mouse. And, you know, you don't mess with the geek's computer, but this was an emergency. Otherwise, we'd be just having a long monologue conversation here, because I have no way to see what I got to see. But it's just so much Murphy Law, man. You want to get on with it, get into, go through your material that came in through the overnight, and you can't do it because you got to go make repairs. And you got to do it in minutes. That's the other part. You really don't have time to mess with it. And then I got this bird, some kind of bird out there who's got a nest that I can't see from the outside, but he's up against this building, and he sits there and scratches and does whatever he's going to do all the time. And you can hear it in the studio. And I go there, bang on the wall, yell at the bird, try to scare it off. I thought I scared him off yesterday, but evidently not. He's back at it. For now, he's not scratching because I went over there and yelled good a while ago. But he's probably just going out to get more stuff for his nest. You know, with it warm and all, they'll probably be laying eggs here in a moment. Then I'll hear chirp, 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 chirp in a couple of weeks. I don't know what the gestation period is on a bird egg, but it's not too long. Anyway. Okay. We'll mosey on over here to our soundbite file. You know, you got kids at home, and I'm talking about adult kids. You know, it's getting harder and harder to get them out there, isn't it? This ad is about parents who just can't get rid of their millennial children. They still live at home and are bankrupting them. You know, eat your refrigerator clean, but contribute nothing to fill it up. So now you're being asked to help donate to these critical cases.
I came home. The front door was unlocked. I walked in. I couldn't believe what had happened to us. Mom!
Parents all over the country can't get rid of their millennial children.
Mom, I'm hungry. I mean, he's 28. He went to college. He had a job for a year. He quit. He still lives in his old room.
Please give what you can to help these grief-stricken parents all over the country.
Mom, internet's down again. I can't take it anymore. It's bankrupting us.
Give what you can to help. Go to parentswhocan'tgetridoftheirmillennialchildren.org and donate today.
Do we have any Cheetos? Today's show is brought to you by Flashback Fridays. Remember last Friday when everyone still liked Adam Levine and Maroon 5?
Yeah, I think of those I've talked to that watched the Super Bowl. They all complained it was a boring game, but they really complained about the halftime show. Yeah. All right, this just in, my friends.
This is breaking news.
This just in. The words organic and orgasmic, although they sound very similar, mean two completely different things.
This has been breaking news.
Well, two guys wearing clown masks tried to rob a couple outside their house in Texas with a machete last Friday. but the couple fought back. The wife broke her granddaughter's scooter in half, beat him with it, and held him down while her husband got the cops there. Here's their description.
I'm sitting there talking to my wife, and next thing I know, when I look up, I see somebody running towards me with this white clown mask on and a machete. He reaches his hand through the window, put it on my throat like this, and like, you know what it is, come on with it, get up. And I'm looking at him like, dude, you serious? You really trying to rob me with a machete?
And my husband looked at them and looked at me and like, nah, man, I can't believe y'all trying to rob me with a machete. Any weapon is good for me. If I can get you off of me and my husband, that's what I'm going to do. So I used the scooter, broke it in half. Me and my husband held them down and, you know, commenced to beating them until the laws came. It was really scary, but it was, like I said, it was either us or them, you know, and not us. You're not finna steal no money. We ain't got no money. I'm safe now, knowing that they can't try to hurt nobody else, you know. They might go to somebody else that don't react like us.
Well, grandparents 1, bad guy 0. Congrats. City commissioner in Madeira Beach, Florida, had to resign on Wednesday after she was accused of grabbing the former city manager's crotch and licking his face to establish dominance. The guy's name is Sean Crawford, and he says she did similar things to other guys, too. Here he is, followed by the current city manager.
She would grab your genitalia and then lick you from your Adam's apple up across your face, and it just wasn't a pleasant issue. And she did that to show dominance. It's hard to maintain your innocence when there was 6 to 7, maybe even 8 witnesses to the fact that it happened.
We believe that the resolution communicated the city's position and effectively closes this chapter and allows for us to move forward.
Okay. Wow, I want to attend their meetings. That would get people to show up, wouldn't it? The Fisher-Price Power Wheels Barbie Dream camper is being recalled because it can suddenly accelerate out of control after the gas pedal is released. They were only sold at Walmart. Yeah, those Chinese didn't quite get the full schematic diagrams. Oh, that wire should have gone over here. Here's the ad, which talks about how driving one is an adventure and asks, where will you go next?
Every day's an adventure with the Power Wheels Barbie Dream Camper. A play kitchen with everything for making treats by the campfire. Where will you go next?
Have you ever thought perhaps you have a ghost? You know, or your memory's just playing bad tricks on you? You know, I'd never pull the top cover of a toilet seat down at where I live. You know, you'll pull the sitting seat down, but do you pull the very cover seat down? I don't. So it always surprises me when I walk in my own bathroom and that top cover seat is down. I go, man, what if I got another ghost I got to deal with around here? But that happens to me more times than I can count. And I wonder if in my sleep when I use the bathroom, am I pulling that cover down? But usually, sometimes it happens when I'm gone and I come back and the cover's down. Here's a case in point. An elderly couple in Houston misplaced their spare key and started noticing changes in their car. Like the seat wasn't where you left it when you got out. And the mirror, well, it was adjusted for a different height than you were. But yet there the car sat in the driveway. Turns out a guy had been stealing the car every night, using it as a getaway vehicle when he broke into other people's cars, and always returned it before they woke up. But they finally put two and two together.
The seat was pulled back. The mirrors were adjusted. I said, somebody's driving my car and bringing it back. I know I'm not crazy. I had to cancel his doctor's appointment yesterday.
Well, I got one leg. We just try and make do.
I hope he's satisfied, you know, that he took advantage of an elderly person, sick, very sick, that can't be transported or go anywhere. They took advantage of me.
Okay. Well, back when I was in first grade, I had to get home. I got somebody, I guess my parents dropped me off where I walked to school. We're going to talk about that walking to school thing here in a few minutes. Maybe next hour. We'll get to it. But anyway, on the way home, my mother always wanted me to take the city bus. And we were talking only maybe half a mile that I rode it, got off, crossed the street, and then made my way through the neighborhood to my house. And it cost a dime, a whole dime. Well, sometimes I'd be goofing off with friends or something, and I'd miss the bus because it was a city bus. It ran on the schedule. It wasn't one of the school buses. This was a city bus that ran throughout the whole city and had a route that it ran continuously. And anyway, sometimes I'd miss the bus, and when I went home, my parents would, I give my parents their dime back, and my mother always got into my stuff about not riding that bus. I said, Mom, it's not that far. And I missed the bus. Well, you make sure you don't miss that bus. So, anyway, but the point of that little story leads to this story. If you've ever seen this video, you need to. Two Italian grandparents were FaceTiming with their 18-year-old granddaughter. Now, 18-year-old, that's an adult, physically, maybe not mentally, but still, just the line they draw in society that they consider you a functioning human adult. And all they would do, the grandparents, would be to yell at her for walking across campus alone. Today's campuses, everybody has their earbuds in from their phone. They don't even see each other, much less hear each other. But here's a little recording of the grandparents interacting with the granddaughter.
You walk by yourself. Look how dark it's out.
Yeah! No, it's not. It's not dark.
What's the matter with
My
you?
God, Gabby, what are you, crazy? New York to New Jersey, my
So you got Grandma upset.
One more week. Oh, my God.
Why are you alone?
She's gone. See, that's the library.
What?
That's the library.
What's that?
The library!
Why don't you walk with somebody?
You should be walking alone like that.
She's fine.
She's not you. She's a baby. Goodbye. I see you. I'll call you tomorrow. What do you got tomorrow?
What is she doing outside?
She's in the library. She shouldn't do that.
She shouldn't be alone. I don't understand these kids. I mean it.
Oh, yeah, that's going to encourage me to call you tomorrow. Oh, late. Yeah, it's the wisdom of grandparents, but sometimes not the wisdom in the delivery process of it. Guy in Canada named Dave, this is all true, Dave Assman, or he probably says Assman, spelled A-S-S-M-A-N, recently tried to get a vanity plate with his last name on it, but he got rejected. Well, kind of can figure out why. Here's a scene from Seinfeld where Kramer goes to the DMV to get his new license plate, and due to a mix-up, he ends up with Assman plates. Later in the episode, you find out that they belong to a proctologist.
Assman? No, these don't belong to me. I'm not the ass man. I think there's been a mistake.
What's your name again?
Cosmo Kramer.
Cosmo Kramer. You are the ass man.
No, I'm not the ass man.
Well, as far as the state of New York is concerned, you are.
If you watched Letterman back in the day, he did a recurring bit about a guy named Dick Assman in Saskatchewan, Canada. He was Dave's distant cousin, and they would work him into various bits that they did.
I don't know that I've ever met a guy named Ass Man. Do you know what? Paul, is Ass Man a Canadian name?
No, I don't know any Ass Man myself.
Yeah. Scott Goslin and formerly of Northgate Petro have relocated to Victoria Square. Now, folks, I know that it's not fair to make fun of somebody's name, but good heavens. Goslin?
You know, he wasn't funny back then either. I think they must go down the line of people who want to get into the show. And those that continually laugh at nothing, they get in. Because they, you know, as they're delivering the joke, they do the setup line, and everybody's going, before they do the punchline. I don't get it. A woman in Cuba thoroughly enjoyed her dolphin experience. She was sitting on the edge of a dock trying to pet some dolphins when one jumped up between her legs, started going to town. At least that's what it looked like. She just laughed the whole thing off at the whole time she was being petted, I guess. Must have liked the legs from underwater, huh? What else we got here? Let's see. Today is Guess That Sound Day. All right, so let's guess the sound. All right, here's the sound. You tell me what you think it is. Okay. No, it's not a cat. Listen again. This comes from a guy in Florida who found a frog at work. And when you rub its back, it puffs up and lets out a weird screech as a defense mechanism. So now you know. Meanwhile, a UPS driver right here in North Carolina saved an elderly man's life. On Tuesday, he noticed the guy had gotten the package he dropped off on Friday. Eventually, he found the guy inside having a medical emergency. He'd been on the floor for days. The driver talked about it with the local news and got a little emotional. He said he develops friendships with people, and with some elderly rural customers, the only people they see during the week are the FedEx guy, UPS guy, and the mailman.
Well, we do develop friendships with people. He always greets us on the back porch, you know, with a smile and a hi, and he knew my name. So I started beating on the door, hollering his name, calling the house again. I tried the door and it was unlocked, so I opened the door and stuck my head in, and that's when I saw him laying on the floor. I just wish I could have found him Friday, but a close friend of mine said it just was not in God's will to find him Friday, that God's got a plan for everything, and it was his plan for me to find him yesterday. A lot of these people that we deliver, especially in these rural areas, us, the FedEx man, and the mailman might be the only people they see during the week. So I told them, if you realize and get a gut feeling that something is wrong, you know, check it out, because it probably is. Mm-hmm.
Another good news story for you this morning. A group of cops in Seattle brought out some of their SWAT gear on Monday for a snowball fight with kids. They used a tactical shield to move in on them in a park, but had to retreat because they were outnumbered. And they posted a video of it on Facebook.
Keep it tight, boys. Keep it tight.
All right, move. Moving. Moving.
We got a group of hostiles. No mercy, boys. No mercy.
What do they got?
Listen to your hands! Hands!
Frog out!
Jack, leave retreat! Jack, go retreat! Jack, go retreat! Leave it! There's no time! Leave it! Cowards! You're on your own!
All right. Dead news story with the police. Bill Belichick. Well, maybe I'll do that. My engineer, as I told you a few weeks ago, or it was back a month and a half ago or something like that, he got pulled here on Midland Road. It was at night. And you can go to Squire Geek, SQUIRE, Geek. Let me see if it's .com or something else. SquireGeek.com. And see this video. That's all that's there. And all it is him and his Prius driving along. He has a front dash camera. And he goes over a hill and he sees blue lights in the right side of the road. So being the good Samaritan he is, he clicked his clicker, went over to the left side of the road. And as he was approaching them, all of a sudden the car jumps in front of him. And the engineer puts his lights on bright for a second to see what it was that had jumped in the lane. And it was another cop. And then he my engineer moved to the right lane with his blinker. And you can see his speed on there. It didn't go over the speed limit at all. In fact, he went down to 19 miles an hour. But the cop car, who was being driven by Patrolman W.L. McNair, he didn't like the fact that somebody flashed their lights up on him because he's the police. So he gets in behind my engineer and pulls him, writes him for careless and reckless. As you can see from the videos right there for you to see yourself. And we brought this up a couple of months ago about this because this is just ridiculous. Because Patrolman McNair shouldn't be on the patrol force in Pinehurst. And you need to tell your police chief that. Just remember McNair. Because all he is a bully with a badge. And that's not what you need when you got the power of arrest. You're there to build the community to you. When somebody does absolutely nothing to you, and you snatch them over and write them a 5-pointer ticket because he flashed the lights to see what was going on, because you, Mr. McNair, had pulled in front of him unsafely, I might add. Well, something's wrong. So little Mr. Patrolman writes him up. Fortunately, the district attorney's office, as soon as they saw the video, dismissed the case. But wonder what would have happened if he hadn't had that video. Tell the chief to fire McNair.
Skies will remain clear during the overnight. We'll go down for a low of a very mild 61. Friday will start out on the mild side, end up on the chilly side. Partly cloudy during the day. Will reach up to about 70 degrees. Then temperatures will rapidly start to retreat. Back down to more seasonable-like temperatures. Friday night, overnight, look for partly cloudy, 31. Saturday, partly cloudy, 48 will be your high. 40 Saturday night, and Sunday, partly cloudy, and 51. I'm Steve Leader Adams in the Weather Center.
Broadcasting from the top of the North Carolina Sand Hills, 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM, WEEB, Southern Pines, Pinehurst, Aberdeen.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason.
Good morning and happy Friday. Highs climb into the mid-60s to lower 70s midday today, but temperatures start to fall as we head towards the afternoon and evening. Our big cold front arrives today, and that dips us down into the upper 20s to lower 30s by tonight. We're partly to mostly cloudy today and tonight, also staying blustery with a northwest wind. Tomorrow, highs only in the mid-40s to lower 50s, clearing skies and much cooler. I'm meteorologist Kat Campbell in the Weather Center. Good morning. The spring-like weather coming to a close as our cold front arrives today. Highs still able to climb into the mid-60s to lower 70s by midday today, but we'll start to see a cooling trend as we head towards the afternoon and evening. We're partly to mostly cloudy and breezy throughout the day today. Staying mostly cloudy and breezy tonight as temperatures plummet into the upper 20s to lower 30s by early tomorrow. Cooler tomorrow with highs in the mid-40s to lower 50s. I'm meteorologist Kat Campbell in the Weather Center.
Agreed to voluntarily appear. Mike Hemp in Washington.
Stock futures pointing to a lower open later this morning on Wall Street. Dow futures down 135 points. S&P futures off 17. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Thinking.
Testing, 1, 2. Can you say something into the mic?
Red leather, yellow leather, the tip of the tongue, the top of the teeth.
All right, what's this for?
It's a life insurance company. Ethos?
Oh, okay.
You know, I looked this up last night. No joke, ended up applying for life insurance.
No way.
Yeah, seriously. I didn't have life insurance and always heard it was so complicated and time-consuming, but this was easy.
Oh, nice.
It took only a few minutes to apply. You get a quote right away, pick your policy, and answer some questions, all in 10 minutes. It wound up being affordable, too. And you know what? I feel good to have finally gotten covered for my family.
Wow, what's it called again?
Ethos, but the website is ethoslife.com.
Well, okay, it's in my notes. Ready to do this?
Yeah, wait. Doesn't that red light mean we've been on the air the whole time?
Yep.
Oh, well, I said it already, but here it goes. Get a free instant quote and submit your application within minutes at ethoslife.com. That's ETHOSLife.com.
A reassessment of the controversial welfare benefit in Finland, known as basic income, found that it had little effect on employment.
The idea of a basic income is one that would be paid to everyone regardless of whether they work. Supporters argue that it removes the disincentive to work there is if benefits are withdrawn as income rises. It could also make it easier for people to be flexible about accepting short-term work if they don't have to worry about losing welfare. Finland has conducted a 2-year experiment. In the first year of that, there was little impact on employment or income for those receiving the benefit compared with a control group who did not. But recipients reported higher levels of well-being and less stress.
That's BBC's Andrew Walker. Romania's president has officially recognized Juan Guaido as Venezuela's interim president. This almost a week after other European Union countries recognized him. News and analysis at townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. The longest-serving member of Congress in the nation's history has died.
Michigan Democrat John Dingell was elected to the House of Representatives in 1955 following the sudden death of his father, who had been one of Roosevelt's New Dealers in the 1930s. Dingell stayed in the seat until retiring in 2014, succeeded by his wife, Congresswoman Deborah Dingell. In a debate a year before his retirement, Dingell blasted his fellow lawmakers.
The American people could get better government out of Monkey Island than the local zoo.
4 years earlier, in 2009, Dingell talked about his more than half-century in Congress.
I've been fortunate to do this for more than 53 years. It's an enormous blessing.
Dingell died Thursday at the age of 92. Tim McGuire, Washington.
Federal prosecutors formally charging a fugitive in a 2015 robbery of a tractor-trailer load of almost $5 million in gold bars, South Florida. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Serving more people, more places, 24/7. If your AC breaks down, we'll restore your indoor heaven. Installation or repair, one call will be there. It's your family, don't delay. Comfort's just a call away. We're Comfort Services. Comfort Services.
You've heard the comment, save your energy. Well, Comfort Services can save your energy bill and make your home more comfortable. Specializing in installation, HVAC, and comprehensive air quality services. Locally owned since 2003, Comfort Services is nationally certified and a Carrier Energy Expert dealer with highly qualified technicians. Go to ComfortServicesInc.com or call 910-695-2665 on Highway 5 next to Habitat in Aberdeen. 910-695-2665.
Comfort's just a call away. Comfort Services.
Hi, it's Keith again for Sweet Dreams Mattresses and More in Southern Pines to tell you all about the Hypnos, the most comfortable bed in the world. Every Hypnos bed is handmade and uses a genuine blend of natural and sustainable fillings designed with luxury and comfort in mind. The Hypnos brand even holds a royal warrant as the official bed maker to the Queen of England, and each bed comes with a 20 full-year guarantee. Come in today to learn more and experience the exclusive Hypnos brand beds available at the locally owned Sweet Dreams Mattresses and More in Southern Pines. Better sleep, sweeter dreams.
Hello, this is Chris Ennis, Service Manager at Pinecrest Hyundai. We want to thank all of our loyal customers for entrusting us with the care and maintenance of their vehicles over the years. But did you know we also service Lexus, saving you a trip to Raleigh or Charlotte? In fact, our factory-trained and certified ASE technicians can service any type of vehicle. Your complete satisfaction is our #1 goal, so please consider Pinehurst Toyota Hyundai for all your vehicle service needs. We are open Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. and open on Saturday from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. We can be reached at 910-692-2424. We look forward to seeing you.
Neck, shoulder, or back pain can be downright debilitating. If you have those issues, you already know that, and you don't need me to tell you about the opioid crisis. There's another, better way. I'm talking about chiropractic, a healing art that's also science. Dr. Sharon Wright of Wright Chiropractic in Seven Lakes invites you to come in for a discussion about how chiropractic works and could work for you. To be sure, there are many of you out there that have reached the proverbial dead end trying to treat and manage your pain.
This is Dr. Wright. I can't guarantee I can fix every problem, but I will tell you honestly whether chiropractic can be of help for your particular issue. Living with pain is not always the only option. Doesn't it make sense to explore every avenue before resigning yourself to the limitations of pain? Call our office today to schedule a consultation and start living again. 673-2225.
NCN News. I'm Mike Rayleigh. Amazon and Washington Post multi-billionaire Jeff Bezos accuses the National Enquirer's publisher of blackmail. CBS News correspondent Jerika Duncan says Bezos wrote that he was threatened that personal photos would be published if he kept investigating how the tabloid got hold of his private exchanges with a woman he was having an affair with.
Jeff Bezos is on the offensive after hiring a team of investigators to find the National Enquirer's and its parent company AMI's motives for unveiling his affair. Bezos now says they tried to intimidate and silence him.
Members of the newly formed North Carolina State Board of Elections spent hours behind closed doors on Thursday in Raleigh, receiving a briefing from board staff about the results of an investigation into irregularities in North Carolina's 9th Congressional District. Chairman Robert Cordell, a retired attorney from Charlotte, said...
At our hearing at the end of it on starting February 18th, we will vote at that hearing whether to certify the results of the election or to order a new election.
In a close 5-4 vote, the Supreme Court put a hold on a law that would have imposed new regulations on abortion clinics. Politico reporter Daniel Libman tells us more about the court's decision.
John Roberts was the key deciding vote in this ruling to let Louisiana women still have access to abortion if they so desire.
A threat of protest is keeping a Durham Catholic school closed to students today as an openly gay speaker was scheduled to address students. Councilwoman Vernetta Alston was planning to speak at Immaculata Catholic School's Black History Month celebration. Parent Brad Williams tells ABC 11.
I think it stinks that my daughter's going to miss out on hearing what would have been an awesome speaker to kick off Black History Month.
A North Carolina lawmaker is the subject of a domestic violence complaint by his wife. Records show that the wife of Representative Cody Henson of Transylvania applied for the protective order. You're listening to NCN News.
Ready, set, fish. On May 4th in Morehead City, anglers of all ages will cast their lines for a great cause in the 11th annual Reelin' for Research Fishing Tournament, benefiting UNC Children's Hospital and Pediatric Cancer Research. Reelin' for Research has raised $3 million to date, and we're setting the bar high for 2019. There are plenty of offshore and inshore activities that help our mission, so the whole family can join. To learn more about Reelin' for Research or to donate, please visit reelin4research.org. Help us land a cure for childhood cancer.
The Carolina Hurricanes' incredibly popular Homegrown series, as always, designed to celebrate the best North Carolina has to offer, returns on Friday, February 15th, as the Canes host the Edmonton Oilers. This time, you can indulge in a savory Brunswick stew, flights from Apex's Brewprint Brewing Company, and you can take home one of only 250 t-shirts specially designed by Glory Days Apparel. Learn more at hurricanes.com/homegrown.
Ashe County Public Schools announced today that classes are canceled for both students and staff today because of a local increase in flu cases. Superintendent Phyllis Yates says 452 students are out sick for the system's 5 schools and early learning center. Virginia State Senate Majority Leader Tommy Norment confirms he was managing editor of the 1968 Virginia Military Institute yearbook, which featured racist images and slurs. CBS News correspondent Nicole Killian reports that this is a latest in a growing list of scandals for Virginia, topped by the governor's past use of blackface.
Senate and congressional lawmakers from Virginia released a joint statement calling for Governor Northam to resign and said Attorney General Herring must, quote, stand ready to answer questions from the public if he is to regain their trust. And Lieutenant Governor Justin Fairfax, who is next in line to succeed Northam, denies sexual assault allegations from a California professor in an alleged 2004 encounter at the Democratic National Convention. Nicole Killian, CBS News, Washington.
A state criminal justice panel is urging more police officer training, building vulnerability assessments, and school violence data to help make North Carolina's K-12 schools safer. A special committee within the Governor's Crime Commission released a report on Thursday. There are complaints about one of the images and a new batch of emojis.
Jerusalem Post readers want to know why the falafel will look more like potatoes. The fried chickpea fritters will be the first Middle Eastern food represented. Many are pointing out preview images look like rocks or potatoes. Staffers at the Jewish Forward say they resemble soot-covered tennis balls. The Unicode Consortium is also including wheelchair users, a sloth, a banjo, underpants, and butter in the new batch of emojis. They will be added to operating systems throughout the year.
Mike Rayleigh, NCN News.
Good morning and happy Friday. Highs climb into the mid-60s to lower 70s midday today, but temperatures start to fall as we head towards the afternoon and evening. Our big cold front arrives today, and that tips us down into the upper 20s to lower 30s by tonight. We're partly to mostly cloudy today and tonight, also staying blustery with a northwest wind. Tomorrow, highs only in the mid-40s to lower 50s, clearing skies and much cooler. I'm meteorologist Kat Campbell in the Weather Center.
Right now, here in the Sand Hills area, we're looking at partly cloudy skies and 63 degrees. Humidity 87%, dew point 59, pressure 30.09. Winds west-southwest at 7, visibility at 10 statute miles. It's 8:13. Let's take a look at your Sand Hills news for this Friday morning, thank goodness. Moore County Schools calendar for 2021 is poised for a shakeup one way or the other. The pilot reporting North Carolina puts hard limits on how early the school year is allowed to start and how far into summer it's allowed to stretch. This next year will start on August 26th, the earliest day permitted by state law. The school board has lobbied for more autonomy in how it schedules the school year. That would give the district the flexibility, for instance, to start earlier so that high school students don't have to wait until January and after a long holiday break to take exams for their first semester courses. There's a lot new about the public elementary schools that Aberdeen and Southern Pines are scheduled to get next year. Each 800 student school will serve kindergarten through 5th grade, uniting K2 and 3 through 5 populations that are now in separate schools. Both of the new schools will be on completely new campuses. The Aberdeen schools started construction this past November off of Highway 5, and the Southern Pine School will be built on Morganton Road, off of Morganton Road in Morganton Park North. Pinehurst's new school is slated to open a year later in 2021 on Dundee Road, where the school currently sits. Starting this fall, students will attend a temporary campus in Razzie Worker Park while the old school is demolished and the new one is built. That's your latest Sand Hills news this morning, but stand by. Here comes all your latest in sports right here on Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM, WEEB. It is 8:16.
NCN Sports, I'm Josh Zach. A bunch of North Carolina college basketball programs in play last night, beginning with UNC Greensboro. They beat Samford 75-67. Gardner-Webb went to overtime to defeat Longwood 89-88, and High Point, they just edged out Campbell 57-56. On the losing side, Western Carolina lost to Furman 64-45. Middle Tennessee took down Charlotte 71-53, and Presbyterian, they decimated UNC Asheville 67-44. Cam Newton is recovering from shoulder surgery and says the most disheartening part of last season was his inability to throw deep. The Panthers quarterback launched a new YouTube channel. He posted a 10-minute video blog detailing the events before and after his surgery on January 24th, including when he was anesthetized.
100, 99, 98, I beat your score. 97, 96, 95, 94. 93, 92, 91, 89. I don't feel nothing. But the whole pop it.
He doesn't feel nothing, but he forgot 90. On the ice, Provo Tervainen scored his second goal of the game, 3:25 into overtime, and the Hurricanes defeated the Sabres 6-5 in Buffalo. It was a wild third period in the showdown of Eastern Conference's ninth-place teams. They both entered the game tied at 58 points as they fight for a postseason wildcard spot. The Canes and Sabres combined for 6 goals in the final frame. Former Hurricane Jeff Skinner scored twice in the third for Buffalo, including the game-tying goal with 56 seconds to play to force OT. Head coach Rod Brindamore.
Been saying it all year. We need everyone to contribute. And in this little, stretch where we've been scoring a lot of goals, we have had contributions from everybody, and that's the only way we're going to have any chance.
Tonight, the Canes are in Madison Square Garden to face the Rangers, a venue at which they've lost 16 straight. This is NCN Sports.
Where are the leaders of tomorrow shaped and molded? They're shaped on the courts, fields, mats, and tracks of the North Carolina High School Athletic Association. The NCHSAA is our 417-member schools, impacting communities across the state of North Carolina. From Murphy to Manteo, the NCHSAA is coaches, administrators, and officials working tirelessly to invest in the next generation of leaders for our great state. Who are we? We are high school. We are the NCHSAA.
State lawmakers are cranking up a new legislative session. Everything's on the table. The budget, education, transportation, regulation. What are they doing, and how is it affecting you, your family, your business, your wallet? Carolina Journal helps you find answers. Available each month as a free newspaper. Every day online at carolinajournal.com. Carolina Journal, your #1 source for government news that affects you. Visit carolinajournal.com today.
Fourth-ranked Gonzaga has reeled off 13 consecutive wins since a 2-game skid dropped them from the top of the AP men's basketball poll. Brandon Clark had 20 points and 16 rebounds, as well as 5 blocks as the Bulldogs clobbered San Francisco 92-62. Another top 25 action last night. 12th-ranked Houston took down UCF 77-68. Number 20 Iowa, they beat Indiana 77-72. And 25th-ranked Cincinnati topped Memphis 69-64. Marc Gasol was moved before yesterday's trade deadline, but Anthony Davis remained in New Orleans. The Toronto Raptors picked up Gasol from Memphis for Jonas Valanciunas, C.J. Miles, Delon Wright, and a second-round pick in the 2024 draft. Josh Zach, NCN Sports.
Nights, weekend, and holidays. You know plumbing problems never seem to take time off. And always, they seem to crop up at the worst possible times. And unfortunately, they can't wait hours on end for a solution. The Plumbing Night to the rescue. The Plumbing Night, of course, doesn't take time off either, because service is the lifeblood of their organization. Make the Plumbing Night your plumbing service partner and protector. Hopefully, it won't be an emergency when you call, but they're prepared to help if it is. And they won't take an arm and a leg just because it happened at an inconvenient time. Now that's a plumbing night in shining armor, if you ask me. Check them out on the web at theplumbingnight.com or call them 639-5555. That's an easy number. Write it down. 639-5555. Again, that's 639-5555, day or night. If you're like most folks, you love your home. You love your neighborhood and those that live around you. But when you go inside your home, you see that it is in need of a massive updating, especially those bathrooms, kitchen, and great room. You know that these areas need upgrading, but you also know what a task it is to do it yourself. Hi, I'm Steve Leader Adams, and I've built over 2,000 homes, and I and my partner Larry Posterwaite have over 70 years of construction experience and have our own remodeling business called Relive It Remodeling. We also pride ourselves on making remodeling jobs an easy and enjoyable process for our clients. We look after everything from permits to the last paint stroke. We also show up when we promise and stay until completion. And we also recycle any materials through the Wounded Warrior program. And here's one more promise. Nobody, and I mean nobody, does better quality work than we do. For your next renovation job, give me a call right here at WEEB at 692-7440 or check us out on the web at reliveitremodeling.com.
You know they're out there.
You know.
You can't see them.
Can't see.
You can't hear them.
Can't hear.
But you know they're there.
They're there.
Termites. You know they're hungry.
Starving.
And you know your house is their main course. So you know you have to do something.
What can you do?
It's really quite simple. You ask for Termador, the unique treatment that wipes out 100% of the termites in your home in 3 months or less. Every last termite dead.
Bye-bye.
For a long, long time. Now you know. Only Termador is 100% effective against termites in 3 months or less. So ask for Termador by name from your pest control company. Because if you're not asking for Termador, you're asking for trouble.
Termador is available at Aberdeen Exterminating. Call 944-2474.
Now we're closing the room, right? Yeah. Supposed to be closed right at kickoff. What does that mean? How about before kickoff? No. They wanted to try to time the kickoff with the Oculus closing. I'm going to delay it a little bit. I would prefer this.
February 14th through March 3rd. Unfortunately for Bernard, his perfect setup of being happily engaged to 3 different women is bound to run into trouble at some point. Things begin to unravel when there is a change to the women's flight orders, making it increasingly difficult to keep them apart and eventually bringing all 3 of them home on the same day. Don't miss Boeing on stage February 14th through March 3rd. Tickets are $27 and available by calling the Temple box office at 919-774-4155 or online at templeshows.com. That's 919-774-4155 or online at templeshows.com. Sponsored by First Bank and the Edward
Did you
Jones
just ask if
Investment
Pepsi Office. or Excuse me? Of course Pepsi is Did you saying okay?
I'm
No.
What
kind of word is that?
We had a guy in Army basic training who used to tell us, when the drill sergeant wakes you up, you're allowed to hit him within the first 15 seconds. And
In the New York Times, they had an op-ed piece in praise of naturally curly hair. Is that you, Joey?
I said, let me get
you know
this
this
straight.
picture.
You
Joey,
actually
is that
believe
you?
he hit
That
it.
is you?
He can
No,
do it.
I know.
He confirmed it. I said, do me a favor. Let me know what day you're going to test your little theory. I want to make doggone sure I'm awake to see it. Well, do you know, he never did hit a drill sergeant. And when the drill sergeant wakes you up, he doesn't just shake you gently and say something like, Zumwalt, wake up. I know it's early, but we have a lot to do. I'll be back to check on you. No, they come through clanging trash can lids and yelling at us. I was never once tempted to hit one of them. That's why I always say, do not depend on the words of anyone, including me. Always check things for yourself. So many people fancy themselves to be lawyers because they Google a lot and just flat believe everything they read. Now, I know you're sick of hearing me say this over and over and over. Check facts. Make sure they're facts. Don't believe anyone, including me. Otherwise, some fool's going to come along, and the next thing you know, you're going to find yourself hitting the drill sergeant. And I can promise you, I've never seen one hit, but that is not a good thing to do in the Zoom walk zone.
Good morning. The spring-like weather coming to a close as our cold front arrives today. Highs still able to climb into the mid-60s to lower 70s by midday today, but we'll start to see a cooling trend as we head towards the afternoon and evening. For partly to mostly cloudy and breezy throughout the day today. Staying mostly cloudy and breezy tonight as temperatures plummet into the upper 20s to lower 30s by early tomorrow. Cooler tomorrow with highs in the mid-40s to lower 50s. I'm meteorologist Kat Campbell in the Weather Center.
And now, the Sandhills' #1 morning show. Mornings with the Leader Man. Here on Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. And heard and seen around the world at talk973.com.
The best part of waking up is waking up with us.
Morning is an important time of day. How so? Because how you begin your morning can often tell you what kind of day you're going to have.
You know what day it is?
Oh, it's going to be a great day.
I just know this is going to be a great day.
What's so great about it?
It's Friday, and at my job, that is our biggest day.
Great. That's great. Enough said.
Enough said.
Showtime.
This is more than the typical kind of thing. Felt the Jones in my bones.
Good morning. Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. Welcome back to the most listened to program in all of the Sandhills. It is time once again for Mornings with the Leader Man. I am Steve Leader Adams, and don't forget this program. It's being seen around the world on this live video stream. That's available to you at talk973.com. Top middle of the page is where the link's located. If you're on your mobile device, YouTube will get you there. Put Mornings with the Leader Man into the search, and we should pop up with at the top of your results. If you're just needing our audio, well, that's available two ways. On our website at talk973.com. Upper right-hand corner of every webpage has an icon that says Listen Live. Just tap it once, you're listening that quick, and you can also get it on your mobile device with your streaming platforms such as TuneIn, iTunes, Streama. All those are free apps at your app store. Just put WEEB in the search and you'll get us anytime 24/7. Weather for us today here in the Sandhills area. I'll say goodbye to the warm stuff and hello to more seasonable temperatures. It's too hot, you know it is. Run air conditioning in the car yesterday. I mean, come on. Partly cloudy today. We'll pick up to about 72 about early afternoon, and then the temperatures will start to drop and head down to 32 by daybreak tomorrow. Then for Saturday, partly cloudy, more seasonable, high of 48. Saturday night, partly cloudy, 26. 20% chance of a shower Sunday, otherwise partly cloudy, high of 49. And then for Monday, rain likely, 51 for a high. Tuesday, more rain and 61. Rain tapers off Tuesday night. Wednesday will be partly cloudy with a high of 61. Thursday, 58. Right now around the Sandhills, winds are west-southwest of 7. Visibility 10 statute miles. Pressure 3009, dew point 59. Humidity 87%. It's partly cloudy, 63 degrees currently here at Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. All right. It is 8:28, 28 past the hour on this TSIF. Thanks, Steve. It's Friday. A couple of sound bites we didn't quite get to last hour. One was Bill Belichick. You see, he was mic'd up for the Super Bowl. Here he is in a conversation he had with the ref about when the roof of the stadium was going to close. Apparently, he wasn't happy that it would be closed right at kickoff instead of right before kickoff.
The roof, right?
Yeah. It's supposed to be closed right at kickoff.
What does that mean? How about before kickoff?
No. They wanted to try to time the kickoff with the Oculus closing. I'm going to delay it a little bit. I would prefer that the roof be completely closed.
Because there's a wind factor now that
as soon as the flyover goes, it starts to close. How long it takes, I think it's less than 8 minutes.
All right, so it takes 8 minutes to close it. They're going to close it after the flyover. I don't know if it's going to be closed or not, so why don't we just kick that way?
That way,
if we get it, we get it. If we don't, we don't.
That way there's no last minute decision.
All right.
Okay. Might make a difference with a field goal if one came quickly. Kim Kardashian was on the Tonight Show last night. Oh, doggone, I missed it. Promoting the idea of companies hiring ex-convicts.
Something that I really want to focus on, I think there's such a stigma on people hiring formerly incarcerated people without people really knowing their story and their history about what they've really been through, or maybe there's so many people that are incarcerated for life for murder that maybe they were just next to someone and they were a group of people and a fight broke out and somebody unfortunately died, but they didn't even hit the person, didn't even have a weapon, and were serving life. So they've gotten out, and if people like that deserve a second chance at life, and I feel like I definitely, for all my businesses, I would love to partner. There's like a company, ARC in California, that helps find people once they get out and give them jobs and counseling. And yeah, so I would love to hire formerly incarcerated people, and I think I would love to spread that message that other companies and big companies can do that too.
Yeah, I did that once back when I was building a lot of houses. Never will do it again. Bad experience. Bad experience. We were building a big project of 200 units, and the framing crew came to me and said they wanted to work more hours. I said, I don't have a problem with it, but you're welcome to do it with the understanding it pays the same all the way. In other words, $10 an hour or whatever it was, and this is back in the 80s. $10 an hour, and not this $15 an hour crap. If you're willing to work like that, then knock yourself out. If you're not, go home at the end of 40. Well, everybody was all for it. And we had some prison labor on the payroll. These were people that were brought out every day from prison and allowed to work on our job sites, and then at the end of the day, they picked them up, carried them back. And one of them, well, he just had to be a little smart aleck. And he calls the labor department and says, we're not getting time and a half for working more than 40 hours a week. Even though he was one of the ones that agreed to and signed the form that, yes, I understand that I am working my own free will of working extra hours at the regular pay. But he called the labor department. Here they come, coming down my throat. And I'm all livid mad then. And they said, no, you have to pay them that. And long story short, it was $13,000 we were talking about. Like I said, they had big crews. So I had to go to trouble of printing out all those checks. And I told them, I said, we had a deal going in. You signed the deal. Here's your overtime paychecks. Anybody picks one up, keep right on walking. But pick it up if you think you're deserving of it. Well, nobody did. But then the prison labor called Department of Labor again. And out he comes and says, no, you must give it to them. I have to witness it. I said, let me see. They first agreed not to want extra money. Then when they had the chance to pick it up, they didn't. And now I got to shove it down their throat. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. We're the government. So I had to force him to take it. And I told the prison bus when it came by, don't bring these guys back ever again. I'm done. Yeah. Try to do some, no good deed goes unpunished. Really does come and bite you back. Cardi B posted a new Pepsi commercial that'll air during the Grammys on Sunday. It's set in a diner where Cardi tries to teach everyone how to say her signature sound. Here's 29 seconds of your life gone.
I'll have a Coke. Is Pepsi okay? Did you just ask if Pepsi or grrr? Excuse me? Of course Pepsi is grrr. You saying okay? No. Oh, grrr. What kind of word is that? Okay.
Okay. Like this. Oh.
What? I wanted a Pepsi. Oh, grrr. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that was so funny. Joy Behar is in the hot seat. But, of course, when Joy does something wrong that she criticizes the rest of the world about, well, then it's okay for her. It's just a laugh. I'm just a comedian. Back in the 70s, she dressed up as a African woman to go to a Halloween party and admitted she used makeup that was, quote, a little bit darker than my skin. You saw the pictures, you know that she had makeup to make her look like an African American. She talked about it a few years ago on The View. Yesterday they talked about it and they laughed it all off. But
in the New York Times, they had an op-ed piece in praise of naturally curly hair. Is that you, Joy? Oh, this picture.
Joy, is that you?
Yeah.
Joy, that is you?
Yes.
Joy,
Wait. No, I know. I was so cute. How cute I was.
Are you my auntie Joy?
That is me.
My word. What?
yeah, she's all proud of it back there, but today, why is she still there? If it's not good for anyone else, why was it good for you? Tell you another one who dressed up all in as an African American and put, I guess, he just put body paint on him all over. He was wearing like a caveman thing, I think. I don't know, it was Jimmy Kimmel. They showed a picture of him last night, all in blackface and everything. Of course, it's all right for him. He's a liberal. He's a liberal talk show host. So it's perfectly okay for them. Anything else I want to do? Okay, late night boys. Let's see if anybody can make us laugh. Each one gets one shot. I see Colbert, who changed his name to Colbert, isn't on the list today, so I guess his was a repeat. Here's Fallon reading misheard lyric. That's too long. Fallon about firefighters rescue Boy Scout in claw machine.
Firefighters in Alabama rescued a toddler who got stuck inside an arcade claw machine. Yeah, and it only took them 4,000 quarters. Damn it, Lou, stop going for the stuffed penguin. Go for the boy. I got him. I dropped him.
And then you have Seth Meyers in the queue here that, of course, he's still waiting for his manhood to drop so he doesn't sound like a woman when he talks. But here's his attempt to make you laugh.
According to new research, eye contact is not needed in order to have an enjoyable conversation. Yeah, we know. Texted millennials.
Well, another failure. And then the Brit, Corden, who always thinks that he knows better how to run our country than we do. because he's British.
British Airways recently ran a test trial where they didn't clean their aircrafts between flights. The trial was to see if cutting out the usual cleaning process could save time and decrease delays. Spirit Airlines replied, "We're way ahead of you." I've cleaned these things in 7 years. This is perfect for anyone who's ever been on a flight and thought, you know what this plane needs? More germs.
Okay. That was so funny. Rimshot time this morning. Ozzy Osbourne has been hospitalized due to complications from flu and due to complications of being, well, Ozzy Osbourne. Charlie Sheen recently said he won't get married again because when you're really bad at something, you shouldn't keep doing it. Then someone reminded him that there were 4 sequels to Scary Movie, and he quickly shut up. Chris Christie says if Democrats nominate Elizabeth Warren for president, it will be a gift to Trump. Likewise, if they nominate a custard pie for president, it will be a gift to him. Virginia Lieutenant Governor Justin Fairfax is under fire for sexual assault allegations. He's hired the same law firm as Brett Kavanaugh did, so get ready to look at the same old desk calendars. 49% of people on Tinder say they're looking for love. I'm sure the rest would say they're looking for love too, just for a much shorter period of time. Florida has been ranked the best state for singles, as in single-digit IQs. Gucci has pulled off a sweater off of its shelves after it sparked backlash from resembling blackface. The sweater's now running for office in Virginia. And hunters in Provo, Utah, film what they think might be Bigfoot. Bigfoot is one of those things nobody can prove exists. You know, like the Loch Ness Monster or the Virginian politician who never wore blackface. And a one-armed college student in Spain used Legos to make himself a prosthetic arm. The only problem is he has to give up whatever, whenever his little brother wants it to use to build a Millennium Falcon again. This is a temporary arm every now and then. All right, 8:42 past the hour. Things we need to know today so we don't sound stupid. Fox has renewed The Simpsons for 2 more seasons. To summarize what's going on in Virginia, the governor's dealing with an old photo that may or may not show him in blackface. The lieutenant governor being accused of sexual abuse, and the state attorney general, the third in command for the, if the other 2 resign, has admitted he once dressed in blackface. Well, just say you're related to Joy Behar, and therefore it's all funny. Gucci is dealing with its own blackface issues after they started off for a black turtleneck that, when you rolled it up over your face, had an opening in it for your mouth and red lips around the opening. Meanwhile, a picture has surfaced of a 29-year-old Joy Behar wearing blackface portraying a black woman in a Halloween party years ago. And on The View, of course, they laughed it off. It's funny when she does it, but not anyone else. Better Homes and Gardens reports research shows a citywide smoking ban can reduce heart attacks by more than 40%. Kanye West has backed out of a $14 million New York condo that he had bought for his wife, Kim. Well, you can just sign it over to me, Kanye. I'll take it and handle it for you. Last spring, the National Institute of Health launched a research program called All of Us, a historic effort to collect data from 1 million people in the U.S. to help scientists speed up medical breakthroughs. If you're interested, you can go to joinallofus.org/en. joinallofus.org/en for information about how to sign up. Just 10 minutes of movement is long enough to improve memory and engage more of your brain. Next time you're stumped on a project or working on a deadline, take a short break and move. Go for a brisk walk. And Ariana Grande says she will not be performing at Sunday's Grammys after a dispute with the producers over which song they wanted her to sing. Dealing those with the enormous egos. Gotta be a nightmare. Today's impossible question. In the 1960s and 70s, over 50% of kids did this every day in the U.S. Today, the number is around 13%. What is it? In the 60s and 70s, over 50% of kids did this every day in the U.S. Today, that number is around 13%. What is it? Well, excuse me one second. I had to take some medicine. If you guessed walk to school, you'd be right. Only 13% do it today. 50% did it then. Why is that? Are we coddling them that bad? I remember if you live within, I think it was 5 miles when I went to school in Raleigh. I think it was 5 miles. You had to find your own way to school. Beyond 5 miles, they bust you. And, it was a pretty good little walk for me. It was about, to our school. We were close to schools. It was about 3/4 of a mile to where I walked to middle school. High school was too far. It was within 5 miles, though, and parents had to make arrangements to get me there until I had my own transportation. But, today it's, if you live a block away, they'll pick you up and drive you to your front doorstep and let you out. Are we calling our kids? From a Did You Know category, it's no secret that the majority of people will take the hotel toiletries when they check out. What is surprising, 1 in 5 people that do pull them out when they have guests spend the night. Your hair is considered to be the least destructible part of the human body. Tell that to a bald man. Study from the University of Toronto says that when people are interviewed in a brightly lit room, they are more honest. Doesn't guarantee honesty. Moms are more likely than dads to admit that they have a favorite child. That was always the youngest one, isn't it? Don't they get favored the most? They won't let go of their baby. And always needs mama's help. Study reveals that around 14% of us are addicted to eating cucumbers. Not a problem here. About 40% of office workers need help at work to change their password. And a poll of U.S. adults reveals that 14% of people say they play video games several times a week or more. Okay. Well, whatever occupies your mind. All right, guys, listen up. This is for you, your information, because some of you might be a lot more manly than you think you are. Look down, you got that little beer belly working out there, and love handles a little bit. And you're aging. Well, women, they say, prefer real men. As in men who have hairy chests and beer bellies, rather than the ones who dress well and get manicures. That's the word from a survey of British women conducted by Lions Bar Ice Cream. They found that 80% of women consider their metrosexual traits of hair straightening and frequent tanning to be a sexual turnoff. The poll also found that 10% of women like the smell of beer on a man's breath. And 20% admitted that they are attracted to men with a bit of body odor. Those pheromones. So maybe you're not as unsteadily as you thought you were. Yeah, you are. No, but that's a real thing there from British women. They don't know if American women feel the same. You know how it is. You're downtown on one side of Broad Street. You want to cross. And if you're not a hot-looking chick in shorts, boy, the traffic stops for you, doesn't it? Every time. But if you're just a regular guy standing there waiting to cross, nobody slows down. They speed up if you try to cross. I had that yesterday. I was crossing over to the post office from the parking across the street, and I was getting ready to walk in Broad Street, and there was a car up the street, good little ways, had plenty of time to cross at the speed he was going. But then, as I started to cross, they sped up. Couldn't believe it. So you're going to take me out, really? I'll stop in the middle of the street. All right, 8:51 past the hour. All right, I know, you're waiting. And you wonder if we're going to do it. Of course we're going to do it. Go get bad guys.
Pretty, and your little dog, too. What we've got here is failure to communicate.
Yeah.
Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? When you were 8 and you...
All right, my friends, it's time once again. Strut across the floor like we own it, the style of the Duke John Wayne. Open up our closet doors and view upon all 30 of our Liberty safes. And today we're going to go to Liberty safe number 24. Open that bad boy up, reach in and grab our weapon of choice today. It's going to be a 9mm Smith & Wesson. Throw that bad boy into our holster, pin on our badge, grab 5 cans of some super whoop ass. We now head out the door in relentless pursuit of some stupid criminal news. Stupid criminal news number 1 this morning. I'm pretty sure this guy is just going to want Good Samaritans to leave him alone for now. On Friday night, the guy was shopping at a store in North Olmsted, Ohio. And he accidentally left his wallet behind. A woman found it and did the right thing. She turned it over to the police. The police opened it to find the guy's ID so they could reunite him with his wallet. And they did find his driver's license in there. But they also found his cocaine and methamphetamines. So they took out a Facebook post telling the guy to turn himself in or else they'll head to his place to arrest him. Yep, he's done for. Stupid criminal news number 2 this morning. People are willing to shoot each other over most anything today. Look at them wrong. You say, excuse me, and you don't say it right. Bam! On the other hand, there's nothing worse than a bad haircut. 29-year-old Adrian Swan of San Diego, California, got a haircut on Wednesday morning. And She hated how it turned out. Apparently, she had the barber shave a design into her hair, and I guess the design wasn't right. So she showed up at the barbershop a few hours later with the design shaved off, and she also brought a loaded gun. And it wasn't just for intimidation. She actually opened fire on the owner. She pulled the trigger 3 times. Luckily, the gun malfunctioned. And some employees and customers tackled her and held her until the police showed up. She was arrested for attempted murder. And that, my friends, is your stupid criminal news for this Friday. Okay, 8:54 now, past the hour. Let's see here. Okay. Everybody's favorite part of the program. Here's what you do. You put your arm in the air, and you put your fingers up. Now, come on, Windows Play Radio. Thank you. Got to come across Al Gore's wonderful internet here. Put your fingers up as called for.
It's time for random
facts.
1, 2, 3, 4.
All right. All 4 fingers in the air. Good. Here are your random facts for today, and maybe a spare. Mr. T picked that as his stage name because he saw white people disrespect his family members by calling them boy. So he decided to make sure everyone called him Mr. Only one person under 30 has ever won an Oscar for Best Actor. Adrian Brody won for The Pianist when he was 29. Coffee tables are a result of prohibition. Before 1920, the tables in living rooms were called cocktail tables. Once alcohol became illegal, people started serving coffee to their guests instead, and the name coffee label stuck. The guy who invented the slinky had a nervous breakdown, moved to Bolivia to be a missionary or possibly join a cult. The details are sketchy. Left his company to his wife and never came back. Things never did crawl downstairs very good unless the stairs were like 4 inches wide. And more than 80 countries celebrate Labor Day on May 1st and call it International Workers' Day. The U.S. and Canada are the only 2 that celebrate it on the first Monday of September. And that, my friends, is your I'm not stupid, but your random facts for this Friday. All right, it is 8:57. We wind things down here. Let's see. Tomorrow, by the way, is National Pizza Day, which feels like it's pretty legitimate reason for celebrating. Anyway, in honor of the holiday, here's some new pizza stats. 98% of people in America like them. 54% say they love it. Almost 1 in 3 people eat at least one a week. 33 million Americans would pick pizza as their last meal on Earth. Wow, would they? The most popular toppings are pepperoni, sausage, mushrooms, and bacon. The least popular, anchovies, eggplant, pineapple, and artichokes. And when it comes to crust, regular is the most popular type, thin crust second, and deep dish third. And so it goes for this Friday and this week. Have yourself a great, safe weekend. We'll see you back bright and early Monday for a Mundane Monday. Until then, be sure to support all the mom and pop businesses you hear on our airways because they are the backbone of our economy here in Moore County. Money will stay here, roll over, and create jobs. And don't forget, millions of Americans have fought and have died to give and protect the freedoms that you get to enjoy today. Live today worthy of their and their family's sacrifice. I'm Steve Leader Adams, and the Leader Man. And Nick and Colt the Dog will all see you at 2 o'clock this afternoon at the dog park.